Hello everyone, I'm Cardinal Emil Johansson of the Ecumenical Order of Christ, and I'd like to bring you yet another piece of news today, and it's again from BBC News. It's about a pope who lived a while ago, a short while, he was pope a very short while. So let's read. 33-day smiling Pope John Paul I beatified at the Vatican. And I have to admit, I didn't even know what this word meant, beatified, when I first read it. So I had to look it up. And apparently, it's, according to the Roman Catholic Church, it's to proclaim a deceased person to be one of the blessed, and thus worthy of public religious veneration in a particular region or religious congregation. And it can also mean to exalt, glorify. So, now we know this. And here he is, smiling. So, let's read. John Paul I's death was shrouded in controversy and conspiracy theories. Interesting. Pope John Paul I, who led the Roman Catholic Church for 33 days in 1978, has been beatified at the Vatican, the last step before sainthood. And this explains why I haven't heard of him before either, and his short reign, because it was 9 years before I was born. Thousands gathered in St. Peter's Square for the ceremony led by Pope Francis. Last year, Pope Francis credited the late Pope with a miracle cure for an Argentine girl. A second miracle is needed for the move to sainthood. Interesting too. Described as a smiling Pope, John Paul I was the shortest serving Pope since 1605. John Paul I was born Albino Luciani, the son of a bricklayer in the Dolomite Mountains of Italy. During his brief tenure, he defended the Roman Catholic Church's opposition to abortion and contraception, but he also sought to reform institutions and root out corruption. That's interesting. Sometimes a lot of people who come into power who are trying to make reforms or root out corruption, they're not very long-lived, because for obvious reason they're not very liked by the corrupt or the established. And then they explain this. How does someone become a saint? Pope Francis described him as someone who lived without compromise. John Paul first died of a heart attack on 28th September 1978. His death caused much controversy and conspiracy theories due to two slightly differing accounts. The Vatican said he was found dead by two nuns. Initially, however, it had said a priest had found him, uneasy with the fact that women had entered the Pope's private quarters. For an individual to be beatified, a miracle needs to be attributed to prayers made to them after their death. The miracle attributed to the now beatified Pope was the healing of an 11-year-old girl after her parents had prayed to Pope John Paul I. In the last 1,000 years, just 8 popes have been made saints. And this is of course related to the commandment against idolatry, which is a sin that the Catholic Church has been consistent in committing and exercising all the time. And the reason they removed that commandment from their official list of commandments and split one of the commandments in two, so they could continue this worshipping of idols and saints. And of course we know that you're not supposed to, like this person did here, pray to the Pope, the dead Pope, after his death. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to pray to God and not anyone else. So it makes you wonder why the Catholic Church made it illegal to own a Bible in any other language than Latin. And of course the vast majority of people didn't know Latin. And that was probably to the Catholic Church's benefit, because people had read the Bible and known in those times it would be an uproar. And eventually it was, when the Protestant Reformation came around. They opposed the Catholic Church and many other practices. Anyway, just found this interesting. I never heard of this person before, this Pope in particular. And yeah, so they still do this kind of thing. So let's see what happens. Anyway, that's all from me. Thank you for listening and watching. And love God and love each other. And may you be safe.